My name is Ezra Eismont. I'm a painter. I reside in Oakland, California. I would describe my art as, well, someone else described it once as Sunday morning cartoons, and I thought that fit. Maybe a little bit of psychedelic mushrooms, Sunday morning cartoons, a little bit of Dada, a little bit of old school Bay Area, mixed maybe with a little Walt Disney, a little Robert Williams. Very inspired by William Burroughs and cut and paste technique and stream of consciousness, connecting things together. I'm very interested in public art and getting art into a public space where people can experience it outside of the gallery stream. I started out in graffiti art, and that's kind of where that work ethic comes from, about bringing the art to the people on the street. So I show in a lot of alternative spaces like this where people can interact with it in a different way. I do all kinds of art. I don't confine myself just to painting. I do music production. I work with a band called Cat 5, and we do live electronic music with laptops. And I have a new project I'm working on with some friends called Chicken Fish, and it's more audio-visual montage, doing live video editing, live video mixing. I do also stuff on my own as Dark Cat. I've got a couple of releases out on Nutmeats Records. I'm working with Balance Man on the new studio album. He runs a music studio here in Oakland, Megasonic Sound, and I just painted that space. Remained in America is our Remain clothing line, where we do live silk screening and repurposed clothing. We also do silkscreen patches from recycled and discarded fabric. We try and get people to repurpose stuff rather than buy stuff new. Try and get them to reuse old stuff so that people aren't so much walking billboards, walking advertisements. We're very much about trying to get people to take back their clothing, and in that sense, you know, their own being. We also have a newer thing that's Necessary Voodoo that's on newer garments, but it's all sweatshop free and American made. So it's all one of a kind, hand silk screened and printed in our studio in Oakland. Our silk screening stuff too is where we bring that out on the street, but then we ask people to participate. You know, so they come and they bring their garment and they pick the design, and then sometimes we'll even have them pull the squeegee and print it themselves, you know, so that they can sort of erase some of the illusion of like, oh, only an artist can make art, or I can't do that, you know. So yes, you can. It's actually quite easy. Gestalt Collective, that was a bunch of Bay Area artists, many who are drawn out of the graffiti scene. We're sometimes described as sort of an art group, like you have a rock band or a music band. We're an art band, and we get together and we paint walls. At the most, there are 7 or 8 of us, and then it ebbs and flows with each show. We all sort of riff off of each other's ideas and visual puns and stuff on the wall. That's always a lot of fun. I like collaborating with people in that way. It's all very ephemeral, very temporary. Like we did a piece at Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, and it was a long 60 or 70-foot wall. It was only up for a month or 2. That piece was very much a conversation. I think that was even what we called the piece, was the conversation. None of us had a real plan. We all just sort of showed up and started doing stuff, and then like, oh, I like what you're doing. Hey, make this work with that. I love that kind of stuff. Hey, I'm Ezra, and Oakland is my backyard.